This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy for this February the 10th. And there is no on this day. Sadly enough, I apologize, but that's the way it goes. Excuse me. So anyway, today's guy is a former center fielder for the Mets and Phillies. He won the World Series in '86 with the Mets. He was a three-time All-Star, but he's been mired in financial and legal troubles. He had bankruptcy in 2009 and was arrested with bankruptcy fraud, and then followed by grand theft auto and drug possession charges and indecent exposure. That landed him in the clink for 6.5 months, but he's out. He's 59 years old. He is Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra was picked in the 13th round of the 1981 draft. He was pretty good in the Carolina League and was one of the best Mets prospects. So he went to Double A. And Dykstra actually was promoted to the major leagues in 1985 after Mookie Wilson was put on the DL. His play and energy boosted the Mets to a good 98-win season, but missed out on the NL East thanks to the Cardinals. The following season, Dykstra was intended to be platooned with Wilson. But after Wilson got injured in spring training, Dykstra got the center field spot. But thankfully for Mookie, he was moved to left field after the Mets released George Foster. Mets fans nicknamed him Nails because of his hard-nosed personality and scrappy play and all that. He had a good, decent lineup. He was the leadoff man for the '86 Mets, winning 108 games and crushing the Phillies by 21 games. And the Mets beat the Astros in the NLCS in 6 games. But it was Lenny Dykstra's walk-off in Game 3 off of Dave Smith that really helped the Mets out. One of the best hits ever. Well, the walk-off was huge. He batted .304 in the NLCS and a little bit less in the World Series, .296. However, he led off Game 3 at Fenway Park with a home run, giving the Mets the big win. The Mets did lose the first 2 games on home turf, but then at Fenway Park, Dykstra just led off, and it worked. He became the third Met in team history to hit a leadoff home run in the World Series. Tommy Agee and Wayne Garrett were the other two. The Mets would then win in 7 games. Dykstra played a decent part. Dykstra would be in a platoon with Mookie Wilson, which was weird. But he did well in the '88 NLCS. Sadly, though, he batted .429. The Mets would trade him in 1989 with Roger McDowell for Juan Samuel, so they wanted some speed and all that. Dykstra was crazy in a sense. Now, the funny thing about Dykstra and Wilson's platoon system is that the Mets didn't have either of them after the '89 season because the Jays ended up getting Mookie Wilson in 1989. I forget who the Jays traded back because I know Lee Mazzilli was traded. Can't remember who Mookie Wilson. When Mookie got traded, I think it was August 1989. No, he was traded July 31st for Jeff Musselman. So, July 31st. Anyhow, Dykstra was upset. But he had Philly fans. They were hard-nosed in the city of Philadelphia. He looked good in 1990. He started the All-Star game, led the league in hits, and was 4th in batting average. Unfortunately, Dykstra would have injury problems. In '91, while drinking and driving, he crashed his car into a tree in Pennsylvania. Darren Daulton was also injured. Daulton missed a lot of time and all that due to injury. Dykstra would suffer fractured ribs, a broken cheekbone, and a fractured collarbone, and lost 2 months of playing time. He would re-break his collarbone in Cincy in 1991. Well, running into the outfield wall and missed the rest of the season. Daulton got hurt too. And Dykstra got hurt. So in 91-92, out of 324 possible games, he had 145. So it was pathetic. It all came together, though. A healthy Dykstra helped the Phillies win the NL East against all odds and all that. He played 161 games and was overlooked for the 93 All-Star team. Why would he do that? I don't know why, but anyway, he led the league in runs, hits, walks, and at-bats, and should have been NL MVP, but it was Barry Bonds' time to shine. He helped Philly beat the Braves in a shocking LCS series, and then got himself into the World Series in 6 games against the Toronto Blue Jays. Phillies lost, but Dykstra put up 4 home runs. He put up 2 in Game 4, which was supposed to help Philly win. It was 14-9 with that second home run. But then again, that 8th inning of magic for the Blue Jays, scoring 6 runs. Dykstra did hit a poppable home run in Game 6 of the World Series that actually helped Philly come back from 5-0 down to take it 6-5, but Joe Carter's home run. Didn't know that. The weird thing was that Dykstra actually paid a team of private investigators $500,000. Well, he confessed this in 2015. He used the information to get a more favorable strike zone during games. And it worked out. He walked a lot. Unfortunately, Dykstra would have injury problems and would retire in 1988. He ran a car wash in Simi Valley, but was sued in relation to the car wash because, the steroids. And also, his former business partner said that Dykstra wanted people to make bets on Philly games and all that. Dykstra managed a good stock portfolio and served as president of several privately held companies, including car washes. It looked good. He actually purchased Wayne Gretzky's $17 million estate, hoping to flip it, but was unsuccessful, owing $13 million on the house. All that. And he couldn't do it. It was actually sold for $10 million. Anyway, Dykstra was part of the 86 Mets championship team that threw out the first pitch before Game 5 of the World Series against the Yankees in 2000. He looked pretty good in all that. What did my take? Anyway, Dykstra had a lot of problems and all that. He did release an autobiography called House of Nails, a memoir of life on the edge. He did well. So anyway, he had some media stuff and all that. Dykstra had a son who was drafted in the 2nd round of the 2008 MLB draft. His name, what the hell? Lenny Dykstra has a son named Cutter? Are you serious? Wow. Well, he was drafted in the 2nd round of the 2008 MLB draft and played in the Washington organization and has a relationship with actress Jamie Lynn Sigler, and has he has 2 grandsons. Another son of Lenny's sons, Luke, was drafted by the Braves in the 7th round of the 2014 draft. Dykstra has 3 uncles that played in the NHL. Peter Leswick, Jack Leswick, and Tony Leswick. So, wow. Tony Leswick was Lenny Dykstra's uncle? Wow. That's big for the New York area because, Tony Leswick played for the Rangers for a while and was actually a thorn in the side of Rocket Bouchard, among others. Wow. Well, he has a wife who filed for divorce in 2009. And then, of course, he had his bankruptcy problems. I won't get too much into it. But his ring actually was auctioned off for $56,000. Wow. By August 2009, he was actually living at his apartment in hotel lobbies. The estate purchased from Gretzky was riddled with water damage, torn up flooring, missing toilets, and major damage. So that was just unbelievable. That's just amazing what he did and all that. So lots of money and all that. There's, yeah, you know, I mean, so yeah, a lot of incidents due to Grand Theft Auto identity theft and a lot of things. So, you know, he cleaned up his life, but in the end, I mean, it wasn't all sunshine and roses after he went to jail. I mean, he's been in a lot of problems and he needs to clean his act up. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.